my friends, this is Legendarma TV. It's great to see you again. Now, it's been a couple of days since Tessa has finally arrived to North America and Europe servers. People have been playing her, enjoying her a lot, including myself. This character is really freaking broken, I must say. She's very strong, very agile, and just elegant and just good looking overall. So today we are gonna have a video guide on Tessa. We're gonna break down all the skills, the combos, the defense, all the mechanics that this character has, and hopefully by the end of the video you're gonna be a master Tessa and you're just gonna annihilate all your opponents and enemies. Please enjoy. First of all, let's talk about the skills of Tessa. And first on the list is Active Diamond Doublet. The active skills that cost 250 SP, she performs 2 attacks, and each successful attack leaves 2 strokes of the brand on the enemy. Now, we're going to talk about the stroke brand mechanic a little bit later. It's one of the essential things about Tessa's DPS rotation and stuff. However, the active skill itself can also be used after a active Garnet dash. However, if you do that, it drastically increases the cooldown of the Diamond Doublet, so I don't highly recommend to do it. However, it increases the damage of the Diamond Doublet through the Garnet dash, but the cooldown is just going to be too much, and I highly recommend to use this active without the Garnet dash itself. Next up is Balustra. Balustra has 3 different types here: Topaz, Sapphire, and Ruby. These are just the combos of Tessa, while Topaz is 2 left clicks followed by 2 right clicks, 3 left clicks, 3 right clicks for Sapphire, and 4 lefts, 4 rights for Ruby. This is just, you know, the regular combos, the basic combos. Invest into them as well. They're quite important while you're going to be leveling up and, of course, on the end game. Emerald Evasion. Emerald Evasion is either left click followed by right click, or 4 left clicks followed by a right click. Basically, this skill is there to remind you that all of the combos that Tessa does, would that be lefts into rights, rights into rights, and so on, everything can be chained into everything, which in return makes this character having a infinite possibilities, amounts of combos that you can deal, like left, left, right, right into right, right, and so on. So, as I said, this is quite useful too, because you can chain stuff into stuff. Next up is Moonstone. Moonstone is a skill that unlocks branding. Branding is an essential thing, essential tool of Tessa of dealing DPS. Basically, whenever you do left clicks, you brand the enemy with the blue strokes. And if you do the smashes with right clicks, it also turns the blue marks into gold marks. Kind of like how Glavelin works with her stars and stuff. So Moonstone is extremely important, so invest into it, make sure it's maxed. Spinal Flash. Spinal Flash is one of the most important abilities that Tessa has. It also is a combo finisher. Now, this ability costs 2 gems, and whenever you press tab, Tessa is going to lunge through the enemy, dealing damage, restoring stamina, and restoring the gems. Now, the amounts of gems restoration, stamina restoration, and the damage that you deal with this skill is determined by the amount of brands and the quality of them. So, the more brands you have, would that be blue or orange? Obviously, orange or gold brand, whenever it's complete, is going to deal the maximum amounts of damage. So you would want to use the tab, the Spinal Flash, whenever you have a complete golden mark on the enemy. So you brand it with the strikes, with left clicks, to make it blue, then you enhance it, the mark, with right clicks, the smashes, to enhance it, and then you just blow it up with the tab. This ability gives you iframes, and it's one of the key things to deal damage and actually escape damage at the same time. This ability must be maxed as soon as possible. It's a bread and butter for Tessa. Next up is Sunstone Step. This is a basic dash in any direction. It also gives you iframes. It's really good for defense. However, you would want to use Spinal Flash to avoid damage as much as possible. However, this still is an option, and it is an option for mobility. It makes Tessa more mobile. Moonstone Slip. This is a enhanced version of the Sunstone step. It also allows you to double dash while using the spacebar twice. However, this skill costs 1 gem. So if you use it, you will run out of the gems very fast. But it also gives you even greater mobility, so you can travel faster. Barrel Slash. One of the most important abilities as well, because it allows you to actually keep the momentum after the Sunstone Step, Moonstone Slip, Spinal Flash, or Guarded Dash. Basically allows you to use the left click after each of these abilities, so you can chain any of your dashes or your finisher right into the next chain of the combos. This is quite important because, as I said, it keeps the momentum, it allows you to keep on chaining the attacks, so you are endlessly attacking all the time, so you never lose DPS. Maxed it as well. Next up is Active Garnet Dash. Now, this is an active skill that costs 1 gem. It also, as it was mentioned earlier, you can follow it up with the Diamond Doublet for extra damage from the ladder. However, it increases the cooldown of the skill. This allows you to dash. It's a mobility tool. Also, you can use the left click. You can start chaining your attacks from this dash. It's really good. I would definitely make sure to invest into it as well. Spin Spear. Now, this looks kind of like Lithor's charge attack, or Bokai's Magnum. Basically, you just hold the right click, and the longer you hold it, the more damage, the more charged the ability will be. And once you release it, she will send projectiles towards in a straight line that deal damage. Honestly, I didn't find much use for this ability during leveling, and I think during the boss fights it's probably good to be used when the boss disappears and then reappears, so you can just meet them with the flurry of these attacks. I am not quite sure. I think this skill is going to have probably the lowest priority out of them all. However, you can still invest into it and try it out. Maybe you'll find better uses for it. Active Shell Defensive. Now, this ability is quite interesting. It costs SP, and it also has a very low cooldown. What basically it does is that whenever you activate it, Tessa does a slash, and if you level it up, you can actually follow it up with another attack by clicking the right click. This ability, both of the hits, as you can see in the preview, have parry properties, so you can actually block the attacks during it, and each hit in the string also leaves 2 blue brands on the enemy. So if you complete this skill, successfully connecting with both of the attacks and parrying, you gain a lot of profits from it. First of all, you block 2 incoming attacks. Second of all, you already have a full, complete blue brand. So, it also deals some damage. So this skill is really good. It has a very low cooldown, so make sure you invest into it and use it as much as possible. This is a very fast shortcut to have your blue brand complete in no time. Active Amethyst Flow. This ability is quite interesting as well. It also has a ton of profit for you. Basically, whenever you activate it, and you would want to activate this skill at the start of your combos, because the wind up, whenever you do it, makes a complete blue brand right away, in a matter of half a second. Second of all, it provides you with a buff. At the max rank, it gives you a buff for like 50 seconds. The buff increases the attack speed, and it also decreases the amount of gem cost for Spinal Flash, Moonstone Slip, and Garnet Dash by 1. What that means? First of all, it means that you are likely not gonna run out of gems ever during the buff while you're gonna be using the Spinal Flash, even if you're gonna mess up. And also, this thing, during this buff, your mobility becomes godlike. You can use the dash, the double dash, which is the Moonstone Slip, without any penalty, because on its own, the Moonstone Slip costs 1 gem. So you can spam the double dash as much as possible, as much as you want, actually, without any gem cost. This ability is super important. You would want to make sure to use it off the cooldown, and of course the fact that it leaves the target with a full complete blue mark at the startup is very good. Active Enstatite. Enstatite is a heavy SP active skill that deals enormous amounts of damage. However, it has a wind up, and it doesn't. At first, I thought it would provide you with some iframes because the wind up is quite slow. However, it doesn't. So you're completely vulnerable during this attack. So you would want to make sure you're using it during the sandbags or the opportunities where the boss will surely not be attacking you. As you see in the preview, after a little startup, she unleashes large amounts of rapiers, and they just deal murderous damage to the boss. This SP skill, as I said, is pretty heavy. It costs 500 SP, but it deals a lot of damage, has a large cooldown, so you want to make sure that you use this skill whenever it's off the cooldown. And Active Swan Song is a regular hold move, just like any other character has. It looks pretty cool. You gain true iframes, you stun the boss, allowing free DPS for your teammates. Nothing to talk about here. It's really good, however, I didn't invest into it at all because you don't really need it during the leveling. As for the other skills, obviously you would want to go for the Smash Mastery because the branding and the Spinal Flash benefits from it beautifully. The critical rate, of course, the combat mastery. Defense is quite useless, just don't get hit. In the training tab, I would go for intelligence mastery, so you increase your magic attack. Restoration, of course, battle respiration to have extra stamina regeneration. The stamina mastery is probably one of the best in slot common skills that you want to invest into it, because Tessa's mob clearing is actually, it sucks. Whenever you go through the dungeons, you spend a lot of stamina and you're gonna end up with no stamina quite often. Standing endurance at rank 9, so you can get up faster, and HP potion proficiency and life flare if you are getting hit a lot of times, so you can sustain better. Armor and rapier mastery, of course, so you can wear the better gear whenever you level up. And for the path, as I said it many times, it's your choice to go either Dark Knight or Paladin. It depends, it's just a preference. Honestly, I would go with the Dark Knight, and whenever it comes what to choose, Fervor or Impact, obviously go for Fervor, because 1600 additional damage during transformation is freaking huge. And that's it for the skills. Now that we're familiar with the skills of Tessa, let's talk about two of the most important mechanics that she has. The exclusive mechanics for Tessa are as follows. The first one is branding. Whenever you hit the enemy with the left clicks, any of them, it doesn't really matter, you leave a stroke of a brand on the target, and you can see it as a blue one on the boss model. Every time you hit it, you are making the brand, up to 4. So once you do 4 normal attacks, you will have a complete mark, blue brand. You can also enhance this brand by using the smashes, which is the right clicks, and it turns every stroke that you did from blue to gold until you make it full gold. And you will see it as an icon right here. So it is complete. It is 4 blue strokes into 4 golden ones. And to be able to blow it up, you just need to tap, which is Spinal Flash. So you blow it up, it deals damage, restores stamina, and restores the gems. This is the key thing of dealing damage, because the more brands you have on the target, the more final damage you're going to deal with the finisher. And this is the bread and butter for Tessa. You would want to brand your enemy with as many strokes as you can, whenever you have the opportunity, and blow it up with the Spinal Flash. It's pretty, the mechanic is pretty simple to understand. It's just you have to make sure that you are going for the gold marks as much as possible, because they deal more damage. Right over here. The maximum damage that you deal. The second exclusive mechanic that Tessa has is the gems. Now, the gems are underneath your SP bar. You start with 5, and every time you use either Spinal Flash, which is tab, it costs 2 gems, Active Garnet Dash costs 1 gem, and Double Dash costs 1 gem as well. Gems do replenish naturally over time. However, you must always make sure that you have at least 2 gems, so you will be ready to use the Spinal Flash. Now, how to restore the gems and make sure that you sustain a good amount all the time. Every time you brand the enemy with your strokes, if you use the Spinal Flash, it will spend 2 gems, but it will also restore the gems according to how many strokes you left on the target. So if you left 1 stroke on the target, you use the Spinal Flash, it spends 2 gems, but you also restore 1 gem with the 1 stroke. So if you, let's say, did 4 strokes right here, and you use the Spinal Flash, it spends 2 gems and instantly restores 4. So you have to make sure that you do as many brands as possible, so you can sustain the amount of gems that you use, and never run out of them. If you run out of the gems, you're going to be in huge trouble, because you can't really defend yourself much. You only have the dashing, and you can deal DPS. You can blow up your marks. So make sure you keep on doing the brands, and as many brands as possible, so you never run out of the gems. One of the things that also can help you sustain the gems is actually the active skill, which is called the Amethyst Flow. Whenever you use it, you're going to have your gem cost decreased for all the abilities. So whenever you are going to use the Spinal Flash, it will only cost 1 gem. So while in the duration, while you have the buff active on you, it will allow you to actually sustain the maximum amount of gems all the time. So you can actually do the shorter combos for faster DPS and never run out of them. Also, the fact that the Amethyst Flow decreases the gem cost, you can use the Double Dash as much as possible. It costs no gems, and so goes for the Garnet Dash. So make sure whenever you have the Amethyst Flow of the cooldown to use it, and you will, during the buff, you will probably never ever run out of the gems, even if you mess up a lot. Now that we know how the gems and the branding works for Tessa, let's talk about the combos. Now, obviously, as we talked about it in the skills, she has Balustra, which is Ruby, Sapphire, and Topaz. Topaz is 2 left clicks into 2 right clicks, and then you can blow it up with tab. The Sapphire is 3 left clicks into 3 right clicks, and then blow it up with a tab. And the Ruby is 4 left clicks into 4 right clicks, and then blow it up with a tab as well. These are the most common combos that Tessa does. For the dungeon clearing, I would highly recommend, you can just mash any combo you want, to be honest. I would say the dash into left click, and then 2 right clicks, and then tab is probably the best option in the dungeon clearing. However, as I said, Tessa's dungeon clearing is actually pretty bad. Now, thanks to HAMPLANET, a good friend of mine and a guildie, we've been able to test out 4 of the best combos for dealing damage, the most optimal damage, for Tessa. Now, we're going to go from the worst to the best. The worst option out of them all is 4 left clicks into 4 right clicks, which is Balustra Ruby. It's very long, and you're probably not going to be able to actually finish this combo pretty often, because the boss keeps on attacking, right? And you have to make sure that you are avoiding getting hit. However, it still does a lot of damage, but out of the 4 of the optimal combos, it's probably the worst out of them. Now, the next combo from the 4 Ls, 4 Rs into tab is going to be 2 left clicks into 2 right clicks into tab, which is basically Balustra Topaz. Now, this is pretty fast. It deals some damage. However, it is really good for the bosses whenever they are endlessly attacking. So they really have like long strings and don't have slow wind-ups and recoveries. So this is probably the golden middle of the combos for Tessa, because it's very fast, just 2 left clicks, 2 right clicks, then blow it up. You literally need a second and a half to finish the combo, so it's really good. It's still pretty decent damage as well. Next up is 2 left clicks into 2 right clicks into left click and then tab. This will leave 2 blue marks and 2 orange marks, and then you blow it up with a tab. This deals slightly more damage than the LLRR into tab, the previous one. However, it's a little bit longer, because you have to also add a extra left attack at the end of the smashes, and then blow it up with the tab. So this deals more damage, however, it's just a slightly bit longer because of the 1 extra attack into it. And the most optimal combo for Tessa in dealing DPS is actually 2 left clicks into 2 right clicks into left click into 2 right clicks into tab. This is the longest combo that you have to deal, however, it's the most damaging one. It's also pretty heavy on the input, so it's gonna take some time to practice it. However, it deals the most damage, it has the most profit of it, and you also need to figure out your timing pretty well, because the string on itself is quite long. So the more attack speed you're gonna be gaining, the better. So through all these combos, the left into right into left into right into tab is the best combos of them all. Besides the regular combos, there is also the active skill combos that you can do, because the active skills like Diamond Doublet, the Shell Defensive, and Amethyst Flow, they actually start with the branding. And they actually, all of them, if all the hits are connected successfully, they instantly complete the blue brand. So if we use the Double Doublet, that's already a blue mark on it, we can actually chain it into some right clicks. We can either go with 2 right clicks or 4 right clicks, to make it gold or full gold, and then blow it up with tab. That works as well. Same goes for Shell Defensive. If you do the 4 hits, the 2 hits, sorry, you will complete the blue mark, then you can just do the smashes, depending on how much time you have before the boss attacks you. So you either go with 2 right clicks or 2 left clicks, and then just blow it up with the tab. And also the Amethyst Flow as well. As you can see, the full blue mark, and then you can just do the smashes as well to enhance it, and then just make it full gold. It's pretty simple. You have to make sure that whenever you're using the regular combos, you have to make sure that you're using them when you have your active skills on cooldown. And when you have your active skills, you would want to use them as soon as possible to finish the combos, because you're going to have the blue mark, the blue brand already done, so you deal the maximum amount of damage. So just mix up the regular combos with the active skill combos, and you will be golden. When it comes to defense, Tessa has 3 different types of defensive skills to avoid damage. First of all is basically the regular dash, or the double dash. Both of them give you iframes and allows you to escape damage. The second option is the tab itself, which is the Spinal Flash. It also costs gems, so you have to make sure that you're branding the target so you never run out of the gems, as we talked about in the gems tab. And the last option right there would be the active skill, which is Shell Defensive. Both of the hits are parry properties, so you can defend yourself whenever you use the active skill itself. It parries the first attack, and then if you do the right click, it parries the second attack as well. So just use the best defensive mechanism, which is also the best offensive mechanism for Tessa, is actually the Spinal Flash. It has some decent iframes right there, and it also deals damage whenever you brand the target, so make sure that you're branding and then using the Spinal Flash to avoid damage. Make sure to not use the dashing too much as a defense, because if you're dashing, you're losing DPS. It's kind of like exactly the same how Lether works. Yeah, with Lether, you want to counter as much as possible, and doing the cartwheels decreases the damage, your overall damage that you're going to do. And the same goes for Tessa. You want to use the Spinal Flash as much as possible, and connect your brands in between. Mobility. Now, Tessa is extremely mobile. However, this mobility costs her some stamina. Now, obviously, you can sprint, just like any other character, and the longer you sprint, the faster you start going. However, if you can do the dashes as well, or dash left click, so you can just animation cancel, and you will be able to go pretty fast. The same goes for the double dash into left click. It allows you to go even faster. However, it costs gems. So if you have the Amethyst Flow, that decreases the amounts of gems that you spend by 1. That means that you stop losing gems on the double dash, so your mobility becomes godlike. You can just go so fast, it's actually freaking insane. And of course, the Garnet Dash on its own, it has a cooldown, however, so make sure you can't really like spam it or anything. So your best bet for mobility is during the Amethyst Flow. So you can just double dash as much as you want. Stamina management. Now the only thing that restores stamina for Tessa is a Spinal Flash, or Spinal Flash, as I wrongly kept on calling it. The Spinal Flash restores stamina, and it determines on how many brands you've been leaving on the target. So this is the only ability that restores stamina. During the leveling in the normal dungeons, you can't brand normal monsters, like regular trash monsters, which makes Tessa's stamina management extremely poor in the dungeons. However, whenever you're fighting a boss, you actually do restore a lot of stamina during the Spinal Flash whenever you're branding the target and blowing it up with a tab. So as I said, it's the only thing that you can restore stamina with. However, the amount of stamina that you restore with the branding is actually pretty decent, so in the boss fights, you will rarely run out of stamina if you are just continue branding properly the boss and utilizing the Spinal Flash as much as you can do. Artifacts. As you know, there are 3 main artifacts in the game: the Werewolf Paw, the Succubus Fang, and the Mysterious Cat Statue. The best in slot artifact, I think, would be the Werewolf Paw, because whenever you pop it, you increase the attack speed. So the more attack speed you have, the faster you brand the target, the faster you finish the combos with the Spinal Flash, and deal the most amounts of damage right there. So it's going to be, in a long run, the best artifact for dealing damage. The Succubus Fang, on the other hand, is really good for extra sustain in the boss fights like Redeemers, the long ones, so it will save you some potions. So it's still pretty good. The Cat Statue, I'm not quite sure. I think Tessa's attack speed allows her to build SP quite fast, plus there is also a possibility to use the Calm Enchant Scroll on your weapon to gain extra SP from it, so I think the Cat Statue is probably going to be the worst option here. So the best bet would be to go the Werewolf Paw and just pop it and just go brrr completely in the fights. And finally, the Awakenings. Now, Awakenings do increase your overall damage, because you increase each skill or ability damage on it, or some SP reduction, so it's pretty good. Now, obviously, most of the skills that Tessa has that you can awaken, you would want to go with increased damage. So 8%, which is the most available one, or with 10% if you have extra bank. So just Ballastra, all the combos for Ballastra for damage, the Diamond Doublet for damage, Emerald Evasion as well. What else? The Spinal Flash, obviously, for damage. This is the strongest thing out of them all. The Barrel Slash for damage. They also add the damage on the Spin Spear. However, as I said, nobody uses Spin Spear often, so but you can still, whenever you have the opportunity to use it, just add the damage awakening on it. The shell defensive, however, I would probably go with the reduced cooldown. The skill itself has a very short cooldown, so further decreasing that cooldown will allow you to use that SP skill more often. So I highly recommend to go reduce cooldown on this one. The Amethyst Flow, probably go with the reduced cooldown as well, because you want this to activate this skill as much as possible as well, because it decreases the gem cost, also increases the attack speed. However, you can go with the reduced SP consumption if you are somehow finding yourself not having enough SP constantly. Active Enstatite. Well, the increased damage is pretty good. I would probably go with reduce SP consumption here, because the skill costs 500, so having the less amount of SP to use it is probably going to be more profitable. But here it's I think we're all going to have different opinions. I would say all of the options for Awakening are pretty decent here. And the Swan Song only has the damage, which is kind of crazy because the active skills don't really do a lot of damage. The hold moves, sorry. So yeah, that's it for the Awakenings. Mostly go for the damage and the cooldown reduction for shell defensive for sure, and Enstatite I'm still not quite sure. All the options are pretty good there. And that's it for today, covering Tessa, the new character for NA in the EU servers. The overall verdict from myself, this character is broken OP. She is extremely agile, extremely fast-paced, very strong on offense and defense, and she's very good looking as well. I wish you good luck mastering this character. I hope this guide was pretty useful for you guys. Please leave the comments in the comment section below if you have additional questions or you have some extra information that I could overlook. Thank you so much for watching. This was Legendarma TV. Subscribe to YouTube channel, join my Discord, stop by Twitch. If you want to support me directly, join me on Patreon as always. Guys, please be safe, enjoy Tessa. I love you all 3000, and I see you next time.